Hello everyone. As you may or may not know, there's a lot of problems going on with Roblox, and there's a non-zero chance this website as a whole could just die. Everything gone, reduced to atoms, because, well, I'm not going to explain it here, but let's just say it's kind of for the better. Well, a lot of my Roblox avatars, like this one right here, are my OCs, my original characters. And if Roblox goes down, so will they. So I thought I would compile them all in this little video so that they're not lost for all of eternity, should it fall. First off, there is the Weird Core Chaser. Basically, my idea in like late 2020 was this guy would be like an NPC. There would be a lot of these things. I was picturing making some sort of game about them all. And the idea was, these are monsters. Think the back rooms, except, you know, not the back rooms. Like its own thing, basically. And these are the anomalies in here. They're completely blind. However, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't touched these things in a very long time. I'm probably not gonna explain the lore now that I think about it. That would probably take too long. Point is, these are basically mindless killing machines. Next up is the scanner. This guy has gone through many revisions. He's even turned into multiple different characters, in fact. The first design was just a simple TV head, but I've since changed him into being more of a security drone. As you can see by the fact that he is, you know, a camera head. Very nice. Let's see. Then there's also this thing, which is basically the same, which is one of the things I've split him into. The idea is, this thing functions like a weeping angel from Doctor Who. It doesn't move, as long as you're looking at it. At least I think that's what it was. I think that's how this guy worked. I could be wrong, though. I'm just gonna list off whatever tidbits about their lore that I remember, because it's been ages since I've touched these guys. Next up is one of the first, actually. Corey Meltcore. Corey Dreamcore, I can't remember his last name, but here he is. He actually has a top hat underneath the head, but you can't see that because with how the Roblox accessories, it's way too big. So yeah, he's got a little man purse on his back, because why not? And the idea was, there is this hive mind of various machines, and it's in control of a facility. And it split off multiple parts of itself. The main part is called cores, and it's basically the leader of the entire thing. The curious side of it became Corey, who controls all sorts of who controls all sorts of scanner equipment in order to analyze everything, because he's naturally very curious. Then, as I said, here is Cores, which is a palette swap. Yeah, my early OCs were quite simplistic, to say the least. And then Copper. My idea was, this was the part that wanted order. It's the security one. The one who keeps everything in check. The reason he has bandages on his arms is one very old idea I had was, what if he could split his arm off and use it as a grappling hook, albeit with it obviously damaging his arm every single time he does that. Yeah. This thing. One very old idea I had for Corey was, what if he secretly wasn't a robot at all? What if he was actually a person? A person that got turned into basically this thing. All melted and black and goopy. And this thing is basically, what if he wasn't found by cores? What if he wasn't turned into that? He would probably just look like this. Be a traveling wanderer in some sort of apocalypse. Then there is Decor. I did not think of much lore for this guy. He's just kind of here. Still a pretty neat design, but I'm more so documenting all these for the designs. I can obviously think of any lore later. One of the workers. So, as I said, Cores is basically a hive mind. I imagine he takes control of these guys, and those are basically his henchmen, his workers, since they're robots. He can just control them however he wants. And then Copper... And then Copper could take control of these ones, the security bots. These ones keep everything in check. That's about it. As I said, a lot of these are quite simplistic. This is Sam. One very old idea I had was, what if he's the one who created cores originally? But then that begs the question of, who the heck created him? And I haven't thought of an answer to that. Then there is... Glitch Heir. Like heir to the throne. Glitch Heir. I don't remember what... I remember his old name used to be called GlitchX, and he used to have a different face. I think I can find it somewhere. I think I still have his face. Where is it? Maybe it's in the head accessories. That's odd. I can't find it. Wait, no, I found it. I think. Is this it? That might be it. I honestly can't remember. These guys are incredibly old. I haven't updated them in who knows how long. Pretty sure this is what he looked like. Oh wait, no, maybe this is it. No way, that's broken. You get the point, though. Then there is Glitchcore. This one is incredibly interesting, because with how many Roblox accessories he has equipped, such as the swirling flames, the little broken glitch particles, the binary, he actually has too many Roblox accessories equipped. And so I had to use a glitch in order to equip that many accessories. Since then, some Roblox extensions have been able to let me do that without having to worry about that, but still. Sorry about that. Let's see. Next up is Dreamcore. This guy has gone through various changes. Let's see if I can find his earlier version. Ooh. I'm starting to think my Roblox extensions are starting to break. Can't find it. Let's see. Here it is. Huzzah! This is what he used to look like. Simply an eyeball with a tuxedo and wings. Still a pretty solid design, I think. because he's supposed to be like Dreamcore. You tend to see a lot of flying eyeballs with wings and those kind of images in that genre, as well as TV static, so I tried combining all of those features, and I think I made a pretty solid design. However, the revision, I tried to add a bit more. So now he has a, not bandana, he has a, whatever the thing is called that covers your face, your eyes. So now he has an eye, an all-seeing eye, besides the regular one. As well as the fact his face looks very monstrous. Because, yes. And depending on which way you look at him, he either has an angel halo or devil horns. Because I thought it looked interesting. Let's see. This one's just called Medic. I think I remember why he looked like this. So originally there was a Roblox game I used to play where you were able to rip other people apart, and there was all sorts of gore physics, to say the least. And it was interesting because it had a defibrillator game pass that allowed you to basically revive people from the dead. No matter how many body parts they were missing, you could just shock them, and boom, they're back from the dead. And the idea was, this was the guy that was doing it. This is the medic. Yeah. Very, very simple. This one is called Charles Webcore, and I, again, can't remember anything about him. Looks like he's wearing some sort of VR headset with all sorts of cables that look like they're supposed to be going inside this big battery. Interesting. Matrix. This one, Funkcore. I don't have any funk music on hand, but yeah. I do remember this guy originally used to be a completely different OC called Hardcore. I think I have him somewhere. Or, like, I should be able to just add this, replace that. There. This is what Hardcore used to look like. Yeah. Can't remember why he looked like this, but he did. And he stayed like this for a very long time before I changed him from being hardcore to funkcore. So he's got headphones because it's a music genre. Very, very simple, very crappy. Then there's Nightcore. This guy is actually quite interesting. I'll show more in depth later because there is actually some more things I want to show of these guys. Because some of these, as I said, are made for specific Roblox games, such as the Medic one. This guy was not made for a specific Roblox game, however, I do use him in a Roblox game, even though he wasn't intended for it. My idea was he was an archaeologist that stumbled across this strange mask, and this mask transforms him into this thing, with all sorts of wings and spikes on his back. And then when the mask gets damaged, if I can find it... Here we go. If the mask gets damaged, it awakens him. He becomes a warrior destined to protect it, I guess. And he has a broken sword and shield, and the mask is also broken. It doesn't stay broken forever, it's able to regenerate, but until it fixes itself, he ends up like this. This one's just called Four Eyes. I never thought of any lore for this guy, he's just kind of here. And not only that, he also has an alternate design where he has a spider butt, apparently. Yeah. I'm gonna skip over the Flame Society real quick. Oh yeah, this one. I don't remember a lot about this one either. I don't think I thought of that much for this guy, but he does have a mask underneath his helmet, and he is frowning secretly. Yeah, not very interesting. But he does have the same vest and stuff as the security robot, which, now that I think about it, is probably just me reusing assets, because, you know, it's Roblox. Oh, then there's Nightcore. This guy is literally just the Maw. It's the Maw, but without any of his stuff on. And as you can see, he has a mouth on his chest and his ribs are sticking out. He has all sorts of tentacles. Very interesting. Totally not a boring design. Now we're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel. This one's called Sane, and it's literally just the troll face, or kind of weird looking troll face. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty interesting design. Everything fits. It's nice and monochrome, but there's not much interesting going on. And then there's Insane, and it's just a creepier version of him that's color inverted. Yeah. This one is called Handy. Can you guess why his name is Handy? I sure wonder why. If you can't tell by the fact that I'm not explaining their lore now, it's because some of these I just did not care about making lore for. They're just kind of here for no ungodly reason. This one's just called John Doe. And I think the idea was... maybe this is... actually, this could make an interesting human version of Corey, now that I think about it. But I think the original idea behind this guy was this is supposed to be the archaeologist before he turned into Nightcore. I think. Yeah. Okay, now for the Flame Society, because this is kind of wacky. So my idea is that, what if there were a society of people that were part flames? Like, they were literally on fire. They were flaming people. And the idea is, depending on their color, they have different roles. For example, if they are green, then eventually they will become a healer. As you can see, they have a little halo, and it looks nice. Just showing them from every angle. If they're red, then eventually they will become a warrior. Nice little flare there, buddy. And if they're and if they undergo modification, they'll even become a juggernaut. I imagine these ones are probably bigger than the other ones. However, if they're white, then that means they're part royalty, which means when the current Flame King dies, they will grow up and take his place as the new king, I imagine. As you can see, he's kind of a combination of all of them. He's got the halo, he's got the wings, he's got the cyborg modifications. He's kind of got a little bit of everything. Now this one is not a Flame Citizen. This guy is Voidcore. He's got a void crown, and I don't know what that's supposed to be. Maybe that's supposed to be a black hole. Maybe that's supposed to be void matter. I don't know. I imagine this guy functions as sort of an infection. If you breathe in the smoke he constantly emits, you'll undergo some transformations, to say the least. And they're even able to infect the void citizens and make them bluish purple looking. Yeah, for some reason the accessory that I used for this doesn't have the same shade of purple, so I don't really use this very much because it sticks out like a sore thumb for me and it looks so bad. Then there is this guy, Connor. So I actually play Gmod, believe it or not. And this guy is based on my Gmod player model, which I can show right now. As you can see, this is what it looks like in Gmod. This is what I tried to base the Roblox avatar on. However, if you can't tell, I'm not the one that made the Roblox accessories. I just put them together. It was incredibly difficult to find Roblox accessories that look like this. So, yeah. It's not very similar upon closer inspection, but look, I tried, okay? Anyways, let's see. What else is there? Ah. All that's left is the one you all know. Mortimer. Now, this guy has actually gone through some changes. Let's see if I can find the old designs. Alright. So originally he used a different set of eyes and teeth. That being this. This is what he used to look like. Very, very cursed. However, he also used to wear a Plague Doctor mask. So he was basically a ripoff of SCP-049 when you think about it. However, as you know, I then proceeded to change it to the face we all know and love today. However, recently he's been undergoing a bit of a redesign. Now, this might not stay like this, however, I have been considering replacing his eyes and teeth with a different set of eyes and teeth that look slightly different. And the reason for that is because of a game called Asylum Life. Now, Asylum Life has various cosmetics that you're able to use. They're basically like Roblox accessories, but, you know, not actually replacing your real Roblox avatar, just doing so in that one specific Roblox game. Well, a lot of them don't fit with this guy. The eye, like, for example, they assume your eyes are, like, below the top hat, but above where his current eyes are. They expect your eyes to be up there, so they look very goofy and wrong if that's not the case. So, I found this. A different set of teeth and a different set of eyes. Now, I'm still looking for replacements, because I'm still not happy with this, because, I mean, look, the eyes don't look the same. They don't hit the same. They're too creepy. He doesn't look like a cartoon character anymore. So I'm still looking for different sets of eyes, but at the moment, this is a good middle ground, where it works, but it also is still somewhat like him. Then I also made this thing, this abomination, which I call Paradox. I'm going to explain him in a minute, but first, let's go to the battleground. The reason why we're here is because a lot of those OCs that I just showed off fit with the other characters in this game. For example, I imagine this is how Mortimer would attack. he would just use whatever he can find and attack very viciously. However, during his awakening, he looks drastically different. Very interesting. Now, another one of the characters that I think are similar in this game is Nightcore, who I decided to give a katana. And then, for his awakening, he transforms into Dreamcore. That's the name I gave for this thing. I forgot to mention that. Very fitting, I'd say. Because of how fast-paced and chaotic Dreamcore is. It's a character that moves incredibly fast like this. Perfect. I don't really use these characters much anymore, so whenever I play this game, I tend to get my use out of them. For Fongcore, I decided to go with the strongest hero, which is basically One Punch Man, but in this guy. I haven't actually played this in a very long time. Ooh. It's 4 different options. These chaotic attacks, I think these incredibly powerful attacks perfectly fit Decor as music. Or at least I think so anyway. Now, I haven't actually played as the newer characters yet. However, Wild Psychic, I think, would fit the Green Flame Citizen. I think. Oh. Wow, that shows just how little I've played this. I mainly just pick it for the color. Ah. Perhaps they could be more of a mage rather than a healer now that I think about it. Oh, that's a meteor. Wow. Wow. Oh, really? Well, that's annoying. Very nice. Let's see. And then for the last one. Interesting. Very nice transition. Let's see. Oh, really? Very fitting, I'd say. I'm gonna be honest, this is mostly just an excuse to look back on my old OCs as well. Now this one I actually remember properly. I still remember how to use this one. Pretty similar either way. more thing before I go. I forgot to show off this RGB gamer flame citizen. I don't know why I made this, but it looks somewhat interesting, I guess. So, yeah. I really hope Roblox doesn't get taken down, but hopefully this video existing will make it so that even if it does get taken down, everyone still knows what my characters look like forever, for all of eternity. Yeah.